Let's get to installing the Harvey Big Eye. The first thing I did was download the instruction manual off of Harvey's website. It is easy as 1, 2, 3. Comes with everything you need, from pictures to detailed instructions to install the Big Eye, not only on a Harvey table saw, but any table saw, because it comes with everything you need, from shims to bolts to bracketry, even a tap and die set, so you can tap a perfect bolt hole into your table saw. And obviously it comes with the Big Eye itself, but it also comes with metric rules. So if you don't want to use standard rule, you can change it out and put the metric rule in there. First things first, we're going to get to the manual and we're going to check out that we got eccentric bolts. What does that mean? That means we can turn these bolts any direction to give us the perfect height for our table saw. Slide them in. Then we'll give them a quick little adjustment to get them into the holes already there, because the Harvey is ready to accept the Big Eye. So we're going to come in here, we're going to tighten up a few bolts just to get them snug just a little bit, just so we don't get a lot of movement. Because I want to tell you, the first thing you need to do before anything is to make sure your table saw itself is coplanar. Now we're going to set up the square at, I think it's like 11 millimeter. Just right there. Yep. And we're going to go around and we're going to take the square to the table saw and line up the rail to the table saw so it's perfectly square to the table as well as to each other, because you have to be coplanar and square to itself. Now we'll go around, we're going to tighten up all the bolts and make sure everything is good and snug, because the last thing you want is this thing moving. So then we'll also go ahead and put the electrical back on while we're here. It comes with the 2 bolts for that. It just slides on there. You tighten up a couple screws. You're back in business. See those little detents at the top? Those little stops are adjustable, so you can have repeatable cuts every time. Now, I didn't have to put in this cross bar because I've already got the router table that's already attached to the table saw itself. But I needed a place to hang my remote, and quite honestly, why not? A little bit of sturdiness goes a long way. So might as well go ahead and get that thing installed. Now we're going to slide on the Big Eye. And boy, let me tell you, right out of the box, this thing is smooth as butter. Hardly no adjustment needed. Super smooth action every time. So let's go ahead and get it set up with the 1, 2, 3 block so we can get the tape rule exactly where we need it. Drop into 1, 2, 3, and honestly, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Slide the rule where you need it, get it perfectly on 3. If you need to adjust it, there's little set screws at the end where you can adjust it and slide the rule exactly where you need it. Now we're going to do the upper side of the fence, and the same thing, 1, 2, 3 block. Dial in the rule where we need it, and if we need to, we get that little fine adjustment wheel there at the bottom. We can dial this thing in effortlessly exactly where we want it. I'm telling you, Harvey has thought of it all. This fence locks on both sides of that rail where you're not going to move this fence. I'm 300 pounds. I can't even move it when it's locked in place. Not to mention, I'm not getting knocked in my thigh with a knob at the end of the fence. Harvey has truly thought of it all. I really suggest that you go out and look at the Harvey, but don't take my word for it. Listen to this guy. So, it begs the question, has Harvey came out with the only fence you will ever need for your table saw? This thing is universal. It can go on any table saw. This has to be for a 36-inch table saw, which is what this Alpha is. This is a Harvey Alpha. So it fits perfectly. No holes are drilled. But if you had to drill holes, it comes with the drill bit, the tap, more bolts, shims, you name it. Anything you need to put this fence system on your table saw. Not to mention with its ease of rolling across the table. One finger lock. You're not, and I repeat, will not move that fence with a piece of wood. Now, 8/4, doesn't matter. You're not going to move that fence. Plus, with its adjustable stops on either side, now you can make repetitive cuts easily as 1, 2, 3. Check out the Harvey Big Eye. I know I'm glad it's on my table saw.